Hello, and welcome everyone to day 52. Whether you're watching live or you're watching the recording, we love to have you here. And today we're going through the first app of the Udemy course that Leon Andersen was doing. And actually, the man, the myth, the legend himself is here with us today to walk us through it a little bit. Leon, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great. Still a bit sick, but yeah. So just to be clear, the code that we see is not the code that I basically I didn't do everything along. I I watched the section in double speed or 1.5 to double speed in between, and it was just nice to see that I understand everything in double now. I mean, it's a lot of repetition, just implementing the past few sections. But that was fun to watch and see. Okay, makes sense, and like um, not really having to make sense on a deeper level, like not on a it makes sense when you explain it to me now this way, but more like I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. This was very cool, and I guess the long session yesterday had a lot with that as well. That was awesome. By the way, I'm hearing some feedback. Myself double.
It's well gone.
Test. Now it's gone. Perfect. So, and when you hear feedback through my microphone, let me know as well. So, yeah, that was awesome. Felt like I'm feeling of confidence, even though it's of course just a very basic app, like the basics of the basics. But feels good. And I guess, is there anything before we go into it? Yeah, also the type training is always that's always part of my day. I'm progressing in small increments, but I'm definitely progressing each time, getting new high scores. But I like every day, not every single time I do the sessions, but and I also watched today because I was laying in bed, couldn't sleep during the day, but couldn't work either. With some wave of the sickness still going through my body. So I watched some coding videos on YouTube, and I realized how awesome it is that I don't have to search through all the stuff on my own and build my own learning strategy. I mean, of course, in the greater scheme of things in the long term, maybe, but it's like a really relieving and awesome feeling to know that I have such a master by my side as my mentor, and that I don't have to worry all the time. Oh, is this resource right? Should I follow this one or that one? And should I get that course or this course, or should I get a boot camp or whatever, or should I just do videos when you're mad at David still and all that?
We're always gonna hold our mentees' hands, and it's wonderful to work with you too.
Thank you. Yeah. So just that was just a big contrast experience to some of the learning endeavors I had in the past. That was just a new experience for me to some degree. And I can encourage anyone to get in touch with 10x Dev to get yourself a mentor. But other than that, yeah, that was the basic overview of what I did today. And let's also go into the Yelp Camp app. This time, also I while watching it on double speed, I paused sometimes and was like, okay, now he said he's going to do this and that. Pause. How would I go do that? And then go on, basically guessing um, what code would do. And I mean, sometimes I even got things that he forgot and added later on. But yeah, that was fun.
That's a very good
And
strategy. Really, really good.
yes, thank you. And yeah, so this time the index.js was called app.js. So that's our main file that we can see here as well. I guess you can open it already. Exactly. And basically just the regular requiring of path, express, mongoose, method override, and the campground, the database basically. Or well okay. Can you go to the scroll to the top completely? Re- requiring the file campground, which is basically a wait, is it it's a model that we exported. That was it. In the campground file. And yeah, the stuff as usual, setting up the app.set to the view engine, EJS, and the path that we need for that. Also, for some reason, called app dot express pretty late in line 19, even though we did it earlier in the past files. But I don't know if that has had any special reason for ordering, but maybe that's just some randomness.
It absolutely does not know.
Okay, and yeah, also, yeah, basically connecting with Mongoose, and setting up the middleware for method override and for the to get the requests from the forms, and then setting up basically all or some of the subpages, all the basic CRUD, create, read, update, and delete functions with different paths. Same thing as we did in the past few sections, and basically what we talked about in detail yesterday, in the session yesterday. And yeah, you think you can scroll further even. Maybe there's something new. No, that's basically pretty much the same as the stuff yesterday. But what was new was in the seed folder. Maybe you can open it. Seeds. We have the index.js, which is basically, let me check, which has down there the const seeddb, the async function. That is basically a function that Code wrote to create a fake database of campgrounds by pulling city and state values from the cities.js file, which is just a collection of a thousand cities with some random data in there as well, like growth from 2000 to 2013 or something. But we just pulled the .city and .state, and we used a random number generator that's generating numbers from 0 to or 1 to 1,000, and used that
0 to 999.
yes, starting at 0, right. And yeah, basically we used that generated number, which we set in the variable random 1000, to Paul for each loop that we go through that cities file. We basically select. We put that in as the index number for the cities, and then as you can see in line 27, and thereby pulled the location, and we pulled like fake campground names. We created them with the help of seed helpers, which is just two arrays of random campgrounding names, and we combined them of two, combined of those two to create the fake campground title. And let me check where the up there, const sample, which is basically again just calling a random number from each array, and like this time, like it's interesting that for the location we use the index number inside of the cities array, but for getting the titles we used the sample function with the array as the argument, which is like could both be done the same way in this case?
If I understand the question correctly, no, right? Because these might have different lengths, so you need to pass in the array to make sure that the thing that you select is within the bounds of the given array.
Yeah, but I could use a const random of array length, couldn't I?
Const random of array length. I don't get that part of the question.
So instead of random 1000, random whatever the length of the array is that we use. So
you could put here. Wait, is then you could put here cities.length
and descriptors.length and places.length.
No, because this one was selecting random 1000 is only used for the cities, right? And there are only 1,000 cities. So to select for the cities, you want to use the cities length. And here for these two, because of the way this function is structured, we use already the length of descriptors and places.
Yeah, but I mean, we could copy line 25 and do random of the array length of descriptors and places and use that instead of line 19.
Yeah, true.
So
you could also say here sample of cities.city and sample of cities.state.
Yes, that's what I meant. Not necessarily the exact using the exact line of code, but the same approach for both. That's what I
Yes.
meant. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So that was to create the seed for the database, and this is only started once, and then the connection is closed again. So we will probably not use that one anytime soon, maybe ever again. I don't know, but yeah. Other than that, I would say nothing new under the sun, and just a nice applied repetition of applying that knowledge.
Awesome. Yeah. I think we got a couple of good lessons today. I think the technique that you shared with pausing videos when you watch tutorials and sometimes asking yourself, okay, how would I solve that, is a great technique to test your knowledge when you don't want to code along or don't have the time. It's a very like Pareto principle thing that you can do. I love that you shared that technique. And I think the other lessons also when you watch a course and you feel like, okay, the section that is coming is not teaching me too much new stuff, but it can also be worth it to not code along. And if you at some point recognize, well, now it's getting too complex, then you can just code along for that part. Because lots of these courses offer GitHub repositories with all the different states for each video. So you can just pick up for one video, code along with that video so you really get it, and then keep moving at a faster speed for those things that are more obvious to you. And other than that, thanks, Leon, for sharing your day today.
I have
Anything you want to say
more.
before we? Yeah.
Yes, I have some more. So what I'm also doing is I'm taking the code. I started that yesterday. Did that with yesterday's code as well. I'm taking the code, basically the finished code from code out of the folder, and then I import it into my typing practice program. I use monkeytype.com or com. And then I basically, I don't always have to pause code. I can just code everything down. Of course, it's more like type training than really thinking about it, but I feel like this is probably helping to get it in the subconscious as well, and to get the muscle memory inside as well, down as well, to type train the code that I'm seeing in the lection in the section. So for sections where I don't directly code along, that's what I do. And but I have I definitely have to say that my typing speed on quite a lot from just using from just doing the typing club lessons with normal sentences to going to code where there's a lot more symbols than in the usual sentences, and even more symbols than in the symbols exercises part sometimes. So that's like a small hit to the ego when you see her typing speed decline significantly for the new learning process. But of course, I know that that's part of the process. And I have noticed written down some questions actually to the in this section as well that I think makes sense to go over as well. Unless you have some say first to what I just said.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. That's a good technique.
Okay, awesome. So my question is, that is it so at the moment we are basically setting up a separate URL or using a subdomain subpage to create, for example, a new how do we say it? A new campground, or to update a new campground. So we're using the views new EJS as far as I know, campgrounds. Yeah, the new and edit, and the show as well. Like, and I'm not sure, like, if I didn't pay attention to the URL, but I think if we're scrolling stuff like Twitter, we can edit or comment without going to a different URL, and like expanding the view on a tweet or stuff like that. Is that something I will learn as well, how that goes, or am I wrong? We always have to use a different sub URL. Oh,
So
SPA.
the correct terms here are SPA and MPA, single page application and multi-page application. Historically, up until like, I don't know, 2005 to 2010-ish, all websites were always multi-page applications. Single-page applications didn't really exist. But then with the rise of JavaScript and jQuery back in the day, websites shifted to be multi-page applications. And that just means back in the day, every single website, every single URL, every single page had its own URL. Right? Wikipedia, for example, still works that way. Every single Wikipedia article has a different URL. And then stuff like Facebook and YouTube came rolling around. In YouTube, a video has a different URL. But in Facebook, maybe the posts, but the whole feed is just under one URL. And sometimes even clicking certain menus or opening certain menus is still all under the same URL. And there are trade-offs between the two. One of the main trade-offs is the lack of shareability. So when every single page view that you have has a distinct URL, then it's very easy to share that with friends. Which is why on YouTube, for example, videos have their own URL, because then they can easily be shared. But back in the day, you would even need to put at least a query parameter or something to a URL to open the menu. And nowadays, like, we don't want the web page to reload when you just open a little sidebar menu, maybe, or like a hover menu. Maybe I can find one here. Let's see if I can. Is there any hover menu here? Oh yeah, here, this one, right? Back in the day, opening this menu would require you to reload the page with a query parameter that would maybe say this references, so maybe something like references menu open is equal to true. But with the rise of JavaScript, you don't need that anymore because you can have local state in the browser. And basically what happened was a lot of websites that got built between, I want to say, 2005 to 10 up until right now are multi-page applications. Are single-page applications where you only rarely navigate to a new URL compared to the old way of doing it. And instead, you have a lot of stuff that's just happening in local state. However, with the emergence of Remix and also with the new Next.js version 14, we're kind of going back to the basics. And a lot of the state of the page is again being moved to the URL. So the applications are basically hybrid, and you call that PES path. So we have SPA, single page application, we have MPA, multi-page applications, and the new paradigm is called PESPA, which stands for Progressively Enhanced Single Page Applications, which basically means you have single page applications with the power of multi-page applications, because you have the best of both worlds, which is enabled by these new technologies such as Remix or Next.js 14.
Interesting. And am I going to learn SPA as
Um,
fast?
yes, because we are going to work with Remix and Next.js 14 as you grow, and you're going to learn how to basically you can turn any Remix application into into a multi-page application by turning off the JavaScript in your browser. So when you learn how to use developer tools and stuff, you will learn you can just tick a box in your developer tools and just turn off all the JavaScript. And Remix notices this and automatically serves every single page as a multi-page application. And single page applications you're going to learn because the Remix part of the course, or sorry, the direct part of the course, of Code's course, is using the basic React, and the basic React version that is not tied to Remix or Next.js or any other framework, just the basic React version is by default a multi-page application. So the first thing that you're going to encounter is this multi-page application where you just have, or maybe I mean throughout camp you're now encountering single-page applications. Then using just vanilla React, you're going to learn single-page applications. And then when we learn a framework around React like Remix and Next.js, you're going to learn pest paths and also how to run these pest paths in multi-page application mode. There were a lot of
Interesting.
acronyms. I hope I got them all right. If not, you're going to have that. I might have made a mistake there, but I hope I got it right.
Interesting. Okay, so but I guess it still makes sense to learn the multi-page thing with the app as well.
Yes, you need to know everything, and that's going to be a common thing throughout this mentorship, right? We're taking you from zero to senior developer, and unfortunately, as a senior developer, it requires you to at least have seen a lot of outdated knowledge, because when you maybe build your own thing, you can use the newest stuff. But if you one day for some reason maybe don't want to work for yourself, but decide for a while you want to work for someone else and you want to work a very high paying job, then in that case, you need to be able to work with older technologies very likely, because a lot of the high paying jobs sometimes still have outdated technology because they're not brand new, but they slowly build their business over time. That's why you need to know everything. And that's why we teach you everything, even though if you would start your own businesses or your own projects, you're probably only going to use the very latest and newest stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes absolutely sense. Yeah. Okay, so let me check. I think there was one more question. Oh yeah, if we go into not 100% sure which of the view pages it was, but maybe let's go into index. Oh no, it was the new one, I guess. Yeah, we have name, in quotes, campground, and then we have square brackets title, and the same for location. Is that just a naming scheme, or is there any special functionality to that?
I think in EJS, as far as I'm concerned, this is the same as the dot notation in JavaScript. So campground brackets location is the same as campground dot location in JavaScript.
But it's a string, right?
Yes, but that's the weird stuff. That's one of the reasons why it's nice to know stuff like EJS exists, but it's a lot less intuitive, and which is also why I love React. React, the only weird thing about it, quote unquote weird, is JSX, which is basically like HTML, just in JavaScript, but you generally mix JavaScript with JSX, and apart from this little bit of these little oddities compared to HTML, for example, that it's not class but class name, there's no magic. Other frameworks that are very popular, like Vue, for example, they all have this custom syntax that you need to learn, and that makes it very hard to understand, in my opinion, for beginners. Even though some people say Vue has an easier learning curve, I would disagree, because when you know JavaScript well, you can easily reason about everything in React. And this is a clear case here where you have EJS with a special syntax, and you're like, why does this work? I thought this was a string. And the answer is, well, that's just how EJS works.
Okay, so I don't have to mind that quirk.
Exactly, yeah. Just ignore it, and when we get to React, we're gonna learn it properly.
Got it. Okay, I think I have one more question. So we have, let me check if that's in this as well. Yeah, we have the href down below, which is basically is just a link, right?
Yep.
So is this link creating us when you press it?
Is the link creating what?
A GET request.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Do all links create GET requests?
Yes.
That's interesting, yeah, because Cold just basically set that up and says, and now this leads back to our campground site. And I was like, well, wouldn't that have to trigger the GET request with the that renders the campgrounds EJS files? So or the I guess it's the index file which is used for the campgrounds page. So I was like, okay, I guess hrefs or links then by default create GET requests. That's interesting. Okay, cool.
I love that you had these thoughts, because that shows that you are understanding the browser already very well, and that it's just a thing that makes GET and POST requests for people that can't code.
Got it. Okay. And there was, I'm not sure if it was left in the code. Can you click through the campground pages? Yeah. Edit. This wasn't it. This neither. No. No. Okay. What about home? We have one page where we have, I'm not sure if he left it in the code, but no, I think yeah, we have done in this file a bit down. Yeah, the 3 dots request.body.campground. So basically, I don't remember the section where Colt explains these dots. I know that you explained them like in a very short side, like part of explaining something else. But these dots, I don't remember where. Like I know it has to do with spreading into an object or something like that, but there is some deeper understanding missing to me.
Yes, there is the rest operator and the spread operator. So the spread operator is this one, spread. And the thing is, it's a double mapping, just how a crown can refer to the top of a tree, and a crown can refer to the thing that kings and queens are wearing. The 3 dots can either be the rest operator or the spread operator. They have the same word, quote unquote, in code, but they do different things. However, they are similar. So let's log out these 2 objects here. Let's console.log, and let's first clear the console dot clear. It's just in case something goes wrong, we always have a clean setup here. My object, like this. And then we say console.log my other object, my other object. So let's, oh, the code sandbox is dead. Let me reload it. Now it works. So we have my object is obviously full bar. And what the spread operator does, it just takes this object and puts all the keys into the other object. However, when spreading, we have to take care of the order. So let's say we have another key here, bar cooks, and we are spreading now. So now you see hello world, full bar, and bar clocks, because it comes from this object. If after we spread, we put again a key that is already being spread in, for example, not class, then the thing that comes last wins. Right? It says now not quarks here, even though this has a bar quarks key, because hello world comes from my other object. Then we spread in the object, so we put in full bar and bar quarks, but then we override bar again with bar not quarks. And that is basically how spreading works. So what code is doing here is just creating a new object that contains everything that is in request.body.campground. So you might think, well, if request.body.campground is an object and then we spread again, that just gives us the same object, right? So let's emulate this. Let's say const request equals to body, and then in the body we have a campground object that has what was it, like a title, Yelp camp, and a descriptor, yay, like this. And now we say const my new thing is equal to dot request dot body dot campground. Now we log out the two. So we say console.log request equal to request. And we say console.log my new thing is equal to my new thing. And now you can see if we expand this here, the campground is title descriptor, and here the new thing is title descriptor, right? So this right here, just spreading and putting it in an object, looks on first glance as if it would be the same as saying this, right? And then we, let's call this my new thing 2, and we log out my new thing 2, my new thing 2, right? It looks like, wait, these are the same, but they are not. This right here is a reference versus this is a new object. So if we say console.log my new thing triple equals request.body.campground, we are going to get false. I'm going to put in false. I'm going to obviously do the check here. But if we do the same, if we do this, ist meine Stimme okay?
Back in.
Okay.
But no code sandbox visible.
Come in. So, yeah, so where were we? I just deleted the wrong thing, but we put it back like this. And now we grab this and put it here like this. Okay. So, my new thing 2. So, okay. As you can see now, my new thing is titled outcome descriptor yay. My new thing 2 is titled outcome descriptor yay. But my new thing is not the same as request.body.campground because spreading always creates a new object because we're creating a brand new object here and we just put in the keys of the other object in here. We don't, this is not the same as it becoming equal by reference. Whereas in this case, where we say my new thing 2 is equal to request.body.campground, now my new thing 2, here we have to put it 2, my new thing 2 is equal request.body.campground. Why did we get 2 here? So far, so any questions regarding the spread operator?
Yeah, first of all, thanks. That was great. Love it. And I have basically just a little nuanced follow-up question, which is that in line 23 we had a bar, which competes with the key, which is bar up there. Can't there be bar twice as a key?
No. Objects are always, each key is unique.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah. So, and now the question for me is, you said there's a different operator with 3 dots as well?
Yes. So this is the spread operator, which its word, quote unquote, is 3 dots. The next thing is the rest operator, which also has 3 dots. And it is pretty similar, so it's pretty easy to understand what they're doing. So the spread operator comes into play, sorry, the rest operator comes into play when we are destructuring. So let's say here my other object, and we are destructuring maybe the hello world, sorry, the hello variable, and we want to grab everything else and we want to call it my object 2. So my object 2. And now let's log out console.log. Obviously we can log out hello, right? Which is just world right here. And if we now log out console.log my object 2, this is now all the keys that we did not destructure. Maybe let's destructure one key of the middle. Let's destructure instead of hello, let's destructure full, because we can also do that. Now my object is, my object 2 is hello and bar. And if we grab bar here also, for some reason, let's also grab bar. Yeah, let's grab bar. And let's say console.log bar. Now my object 2 is only hello. So the rest operator grabs the rest of the object. Basically everything that we did not grab during destructuring is being put into the object with the name that we put after the rest operator. So that's also how you can distinguish the two based on the naming. The spread operator takes an object and spreads it into another object. It kind of squishes it into that existing object. Versus the rest operator, when you destructure first all the variables that you have, and then if you want to just grab the rest, you can use the rest operator to assign it to a new variable.
Interesting. So it's rest in terms of leftovers and not in terms of taking a break.
Exactly.
Got it.
And it's spread in just like spreading peanut butter.
Yes. Can you scroll up a little bit, please? My object, other object. My object 2. Okay. The restructuring is something I still have to get used to a little bit in my brain, like the mechanics behind. Let me think through it beforehand. Destructuring. It's not fully intuitive yet to say it like that. Foobar. Yeah, the problem is that I'm not seeing my object 2. Where is that? And my other object. Okay, wait. My other object, okay, I see that. And other object 2 is the one we just created, basically.
Yes, that's basically the thing that you write after the spread operator is what the object is called that collects all the keys that you have in the structure. It can even be empty, right? We can even grab hello here too. And now my object 2 is empty. Or alternatively, we can grab nothing and then my object 2, we need to obviously comment these out then, but that now my object 2 has all of the keys that my other object had. And similar to above, if we say console.log my object 2 triple equals to my other object, and my object 2 triple equal to my other object, it's false. So even though they have the same keys, they're not the same because similar to the spread operator, the rest operator also creates a brand new object.
Interesting. So in line 44, we would get the same result if we would remove the curly brackets and the dots in this case, right?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
No. So if we would in line 40, if we would remove the curly brackets and the rest operator, we would get true. Yeah, okay, got it. Because then it's just a reference and not a
yes,
not a new object. Okay. Yeah, I think I have to see more destructuring examples to have it like to see the pattern more clearly. But I mean, I understand it, but it's not. I have to think through it very thoroughly to get it. But I think that I'll just ask ChatGPT tomorrow to give me a ton of examples and familiarize with that pattern.
Yeah, I mean, you can put some dedicated time into it to learn it, but it's so common in JavaScript that you will eventually learn it. Like to take the language analogy, you will hear this sentence so many times because it's as frequent as saying hello and goodbye in normal speech that you will eventually link it to its meaning. You will eventually learn, okay, hello means so that's what people say when they meet each other. You're going to learn, okay, the structuring is just grabbing keys. Rest is getting the rest of what hasn't been destructured, and spread is just putting in the values of one object into another.
Yeah. I mean, conceptually, like I understand it, but yeah. That's it's not really intuitive mind muscle memory, but yeah. Okay, got it. That will come with time. Cool. Think.
Nice. Then I did the outro a little too early, but now we can get into it. So thanks everyone for watching. If you're watching the recording, join us live to learn some extra nuances about all of these quirks of the language, like spread versus rest. And keep coding every day because that's what makes you better. That what makes you familiar with the language. And the wise Japanese what is it called? Like a wise, like a sage said, you don't learn a language, you get used to it. So just get used to JavaScript with us together and to React and to TypeScript and to all the other fun things that we have planned for the future. That being said, thank you everyone for watching. This has been day 52 of 100 days of code with
Leon Andersen and my mentor
LF Mill from Panic Death. Thank you, everyone.
See you tomorrow, party people.